Well, okay, so if empathy is so deep in our biology, and we're so good at taking perspectives of others, then why don't we pick up the newspaper and just read about nothing but love and peace and everyone getting along, as opposed to greed and war and all sorts of human evils?
Yeah. Yeah, that would be the case if we could only have one emotion at a time, and that one monopolized us. But that's not the case, obviously. So we are at the same time selfish and competitive, and I've seen a lot of selfish competitiveness among the primates also. And we have this capacity of love and care. And actually what is intriguing about empathy, I don't talk in my book so much about it because we don't know much about it, is how it is turned off and on. Is because you can see a beggar in the street and you can respond to the beggar, an empathic reaction, but you can also walk by, and some people even cross the street. They don't want to see the beggar, and so that's a way of turning off the empathy that you might have. So the regulation of empathy is actually a very interesting issue, and then the interaction with competitive and selfish tendencies. And so selfish tendencies may make you turn off the empathic reaction. There's an experiment on that was done with humans. It's called the Good Samaritan experiment. It was done on seminary students. And the seminary students were asked to rush to another place to tell a class about the Good Samaritan. So they were going to tell the ultimate Western story on altruistic behavior. But then in an alleyway between the place where they were and the place where they had to go, they put a person who was clearly suffering and groaning and sitting there to see if they would stop and ask, what's the matter with you? And so they found that the more pressure you put on them to hurry to the other place, the less attention they paid to victims who were planted in the alleyway. And the students, which by the way were all male students, I think female students might have reacted differently, but the students sometimes even stepped over the person who was suffering to get to talk about altruism. That's a funny experiment. But it shows a bit, it's a matter of priorities. Our whole life is a matter of priorities. Can you afford to be altruistic under certain circumstances? And then we have a priority list, like our children are much higher on the list than somebody else's children. And so yes, all these priorities that we have to figure out.
Now,